Dr. Rajvanshi did his undergraduation and post-graduation from I.I.T. Kanpur. Then he went to the United States to do his Ph.D. All of us know that many IITians who go abroad, go to the United States, don't come back. But he is a person who decided to come back. And he writes about his own decision of coming back to India in the following words. India is a very old civilization, and great spiritual and political leaders like Gautam Buddha, Ashoka, Akbar, Mahatma Gandhi and others could not change it. And yet I felt in 1981 that I would play an important role in changing India. How wrong I was. India did not change, but India changed me, and this book is the story of how India changed him. I consider my coming back as the detoxification of Anil Rajvanshi. I consider my coming back as the detoxification of Anil Rajvanshi. In fact, I thank the higher forces for making me think irrationally, so that I left everything to come to rural Maharashtra. This is also the story of my self-discovery, and I have always thanked God for giving me a place, no matter how small. He came back to Phaltan, a small place in Maharashtra, where he and his family have set up this Nimbkar Agricultural Research Institute. And he says, this is also the story of my self-discovery, and I have always thanked God for giving me a place, no matter how small, where I could think deeply on issues of rural development, renewable energy and spirituality, reflect on them and write about them. At the same time, remaining connected to the outside world via the internet allowed me to share my thoughts with like-minded people on a much bigger scale. So friends, all of us who have gathered here, I think are like-minded people. I'm sure that this talk will be very stimulating and generate good discussion. So may I now invite Anil ji for beginning his presentation and talk. Thank you very much.
I hope that what I will talk about will elicit a lot of interest and discussion later on. My topic is the road to prosperous India goes through rural areas. It was Mahatma Gandhi in 1920s who spoke about this. It's 90 years and we are still speaking about it. Hardly anything has changed since the time when he proposed for the first time how rural areas, if villages can become better and create a vibrant new India, which he called Swaraj. I'll add my small bit to it. I am no Gandhi, but I'll show to you that it is possible. Gandhiji always talked about his dream village, but I do believe that this dream village is possible through very high technology that the world is now producing, and it is possible to bring that technology to rural areas and to do that. As Sudhindraji has said, that I run a small institute called Nimbkar Agricultural Institute, where this is our website. We have a very good website. Besides doing other things, I also manage my website, so we keep it quite up to date, and everything that we do is put on our website, and I will appreciate if you go and look at it. My talk is in three parts. One is, I'll first tell you a little bit about my perception of the key problems in rural India. The second part is the possible solutions, and the solutions are how it will create wealth rural wealth and jobs, because this is the two most important thing for rural India. Unless and we create jobs, we create wealth, rural India cannot come up. And then finally, how all of us can help in rural prosperity. And from my talk, from my work for the last 20-25 years, we have come to this conclusion that the corporate sector can play an extremely important role in rural development. Government can be a facilitator, but corporate, NGO, local community partnership is extremely important in bringing the great prosperity for rural areas. %, this is 62 years after independence. 60% of our rural population, which is almost 400 million people, still live in extremely primitive conditions. Almost no electricity, primitive cook stoves, and very unclean drinking water. Why can't you all come here? There's a lot of seats here. Please come.
Please.
I'm expecting a visitor.
Yes, they come here.
Around 300,000 deaths per year take place because of indoor air pollution. This is a huge problem in rural areas. As all of you know, the way this lady is cooking on the right, this is a general thing. Even in a very prosperous place like Phaltan, there are a large number of these women, they cook in chulas, and most of them, when they don't have electricity, they use the old kerosene lantern which was produced in early 1870s and 1890s. And around 1.5 million are killed because of the polluted water, especially the children. So there's a huge problem in most of these rural areas. Modern technology somehow has not touched their lives even 62 years after independence. And mind you, we have a very powerful program of sending the man to the moon. We are going to spend a lot of money in so many other things. And yet we cannot take care of our rural population, which is a huge population. And we talk about India becoming the third biggest economy, and yet the huge population of our country is still living in primitive conditions. 54% of India's population is below the age of 25 years. We are a very young nation. And you can imagine this huge mass of population. In fact, our greatest strength is our people. And if this huge mass of very young people with a lot of energy and chemicals flowing through them, if we allow them to not come into the mainstream of development, then it is going to create a lot of problems. It's already creating problems, and not only in rural areas and other areas, they migrate to cities, and there's a lot of social problems. And besides the modern technology, it allows the increased aspirations because of mass media, and this is leading to social unrest. In fact, one of the fastest selling item in India is a mobile phone in rural areas. And mobile phone is not a mechanism of just communication, it's a mechanism for entertainment. In fact, the rural population have learned very nicely to use the mobile for the downloading the movies and downloading the music and etc. And it's more of an entertainment. And they see a lot of these things taking place. And unless we create conditions, there is, for example, in Phaltan, it's very difficult for me to get young people to work. They are all funded. Funded means they are given clothes and food by their